we actually can do it, or we actually do it, or unless we do it, should I say, unless we actually go up via the playoffs, then I think we're always going to be worried about the what's happened to us previously, because we've obviously got form for obviously not going through. Like they're hard. Obviously, you finish the season in on the Saturday. Obviously it's going to be 25th of April, and you uh have to play again on the Tuesday, Wednesday. You only get 2-3 days rest, and then if you win that, you've only got 2 or 3 days rest for the final. So it's never ideal. It's the way it's always been. It's like you probably get players carrying knocks, injuries against the. I know Billy Painter said during the playoff finals defeat to Workington, he said like most of the squad were carrying knocks, injuries, and but there's nothing they could do. They had to just manage through, and obviously with Lewis Doyle opened the scored, and it just I know it was Sam Heathcote. I know he plays for Macclesfield now. I know he was on TV when they beat Crystal Palace. I think he was talking. He scored an unfortunate own goal, and then added time. Obviously, they scored. The ball come out of the air, and I think someone didn't know where the ball was. I think he turned his back, and the working player had it, and then he ran forward and just slotted it in. I mean, I wasn't at the point. I wasn't going watching the Linnets now. I've watched it back on YouTube, and I don't know if it's a good or bad thing that wasn't there, because the pain of travelling all that way and losing in that manner would have been tough mentally to take. Like, I know there's a lot of supporters that did go there, and I could sympathise with how they would have felt on the day. It's cruel sometimes, football, and sometimes your hopes do get dashed. But yeah, we've got 11 games. It's going to be a fight, but if we get at least fifth, then I'll take that. I have to. I can't. If I was to, if at the end of the season we got fifth, and to say I wasn't happy, I'd think, well, I'm not being realistic, because Ello came in after Brad sadly resigned, and he hasn't had much time with the squad. I know he was there previously, but that was a long time ago, like when it was completely different. I think he managed Pete Wiley and maybe Ryan Brook, maybe James Short. I know he's not injured, but pretty much 90% of the squad, the way players that he's obviously managed, the ones he's brought in from Widnes, he has with managed by James Steele, Sean Miller, Paddy McGee, and Matty Rain. Yeah, of course he had them at Widnes, so he has managed them. But for me, it might just be the case of what he said. I know I mentioned this in the last video. The when he went to Widnes, and he steered them away from relegation when they were close to it, and then the following year I think they were in the playoffs, and I think they dropped out near the end, because I remember that when we got second. I think they got like 8th and 9th, maybe, or maybe 10th, and then they won the league the following year. So as much as supporters might probably don't want to hear it, me included, it could be, without sounding negative, it could be the case if he needs that same time back at the Linnets again to do that. Maybe coming in January and being able to get promoted within 3-4 months is not realistic, and maybe he does need that year and a half to 2.5 years to do that, because as you say, you see the end product at Widnes, but when he actually said 2.5 years, I was thinking, well, I didn't know he'd been there quite that long. I know he'd not won promotion the year before, but he, as you said, there's no secret formula. It's just a lot of hard work. It's a lot of patience, and I'm not very patient myself a lot of the time, but I feel like when he says things like that, like it's 2.5 years old, like I've got to be patient, because if I'm not, and people, don't want a manager to, well, stay. I'm not saying with Ello, but like any manager and that, or they want instant like promotion and that, then it can backfire on you, because you could get someone else in who's like really bad and like just get you relegated or finish mid-table. So if Ello doesn't get us up this season, then I've got every confidence that he'll be able to do it next season, and he'll have a full season to start. And it might just be, you've got to just tough it out and just allow him to have that time that he had at Widnes to do that. I think with us, it's been so many near misses, 8 years in the division, and he knows that. He said he'll do everything he can, but he can't guarantee it because he knows how tough it is. And yeah, it is tough. You know what? If we don't go up this season, regardless of whether we do or don't finish in the playoffs, I've got every confidence in Ello that we'll have every chance next year of. Again, I'm not trying to like write off our chances now, and I'm not trying to think, oh yeah, it's gone this year. I'm just saying, hypothetically, just if we do or don't make playoffs, and we do or don't lose in them, I think he's got every chance, because I've said plenty of times, it's what he did at Widnes, and he could need that couple of years or so at least to be able to do that. The Linnets, because he's not been here for 6 years, wasn't it? It was 2020 he left during when the pandemic hit, so he's been away from them for a while, and a lot have changed. So yeah, you just you don't know. Well, we'll see. We're at the coach on away shift all next week, and then the week after. The coach with Quinn. Sorry, excuse me. I put the heat on when we got back because we were freezing. Yeah, we'll just have to see. 11 games, and we'll know. But either way, whether we finish first, second, third, fourth, fifth, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10th, whatever, I think I always, I can't. People have different opinions, but for me, there's no better person to be in charge than Michael Ellison, because he's been there, done that with the Linnets. He was a player for a long time here. He knows the club through and through, and this is what I imagine a lot of supporters would want most. I'd rather have him than anyone else, to be honest. If not, obviously Brad. Obviously he resigned, and I still feel bad about that. But I know some people thought that Paul McNally was going to come in last year. The guy had managed City with. Well, not the Paul McNally that managed to win. It's just two different people. I did have to clarify that. We used to have a manager called Paul McNally, but he wasn't the one at City Liverpool. You're two different people. So yeah, for me, Ello's no better. There's no better person than Ello to, be in charge of us, and But it's just opinions. People have different opinions, and that's fair enough. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, and I don't think people should be criticised for having a different opinion or not thinking the same. We all want the same thing, so we just hope, whether it's this year or following year, that we'll be able to get the much coveted promotion. Oh God, I've been going on for nearly 30 minutes. Jeez, waffling on. Yeah, I'm going to end this in a minute. I just said Aston Villa Newcastle on the TV. Dave goes to it, so he'll be happy. Villa are leading 1-0. They've had the goalkeeper sent off, but they're just going to try and protect that lead. I would have taken that though, innit? So if we had our keeper sent off, what would be 1-0 up? Yeah, we'll just have to see how next couple months go. The last game is the 25th of April or 21st. I'm a bit all over the place with dates. I think it's Newcastle Town away. So Right, I'm going to end in a minute for sweep doing this. Hope you all had a nice Valentine's Day, whatever you did. We'll see you. Whoever's there next Saturday will be on the coach for shift. No one. We say it every week, don't we? But really, need to just get 3 points ASAP. You know, we want to at least stay in the playoffs. So. Right, take care, everyone. We'll see you next week. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Take care. Bye.